Well, come get ready with me this morning as we have to feed Mr. Bullet, Mr. Barbecue, aka BBQ, and Trigger here. Oh, as well as those two little creatures.
So let's get it done.
Okay, so first of all, we've got to feed Barbecue. I love my little boy. That is his grain bin that I had to bring over from the other house, and he trashed his hay every single morning. He always does that. It's like he just decides he needs to trip over his hay bin and dump it all over the place, so then I have to clean it up. And I'm not about to waste it by letting it get all over the ground, so we try to scoop as much as we can up because hay is expensive. Try to shove it back in there. Of course, then he's just going to tip it over again, but that's okay. Then we had to give him some grain because he's a show steer. He gets extra treatment. And then it was Trigger's turn. Luckily, Trigger's thing is wired down. Trust me, I've already tried that with the steers, and he always still tips it over anyway. And so I just gave him some hay, and then I gave him a little bit of grain. I didn't want to give him too much because, he's a horse, and this grain is for animals that you want to get beefy, and I don't want my little pony getting beefy. He's already kind of fat. Look how cute he is, though. His little fluffy cuteness. And then we have Bullet, and he's a little stinker banker. He's actually my brother's steer. I just do it for him because my brother is lazy and never actually has time to do his steer, so I do it for him because, why not? He also likes to trash his hay all over his pen, so I end up by having to clean that up for him too, but it's not as bad as it could be, right? It always could be worse. Plus, it's a little arm workout, and yes, I am doing all of this with a broken wrist. I fractured it in 2 places. I was riding my horse bareback and fell off. And now we have to give everybody water. And water's also expensive. Living on a farm is just expensive, no matter where you are. And then we gotta feed these rotten little sheepy weepies. Look how cute they are. Get them some grain. They are also our meat animals, so they're for 4-H, so we have to show them. And when you show them, you want them to be they have to look a certain way. And it's crazy how the way you feed an animal really changes everything about them. The way their hair grows, the way their hoofs are, literally everything. Is really interesting, and it just makes you kind of remember that how you feed your animals, that if it changes them that much, it'll change us that much by what we put in our bodies. It's really interesting. So then I gave Trigger and Barbecue both of their waters, and they already had hay and food and everything. And then I remember that the sheep also need water because, they need water. And then, okay, so our barn is kind of on a different property than our house is, and so I had to drive back and forth, and I just found out my sister's pig died, which was, really sad. And so this morning I came home, and my sister was like, yeah, my pig died, and I was like, oh my gosh, and her pig is at a different barn, so. Anyway, I ended up by scooping up all of Trigger's poop, and then everybody seemed happy, so he's got food and water, a little Barbecue there, and then Bullet has food and water as well. Look how cute. And then those little annoying little sheepies, they also have food and water. So everybody was nice and happy. It was a good day to do chores. He's so cute. I have to think of a good name for him. If you have any suggestions, drop a comment. And then these are all of our chickens, and we just got a bunch of baby chicks, and they've grown out of the heat lamp phase, so we put them in with the big chickens now. And look how happy everybody is. And then I had to move our hen. She wants to be broody, but we don't have any roosters. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take them away from you. Sorry, girly. And then the baby chicks, I had to feed them. They already had water. Their water tanks were full, so I didn't have to worry about that. But they all seemed really happy. So. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. All the animals are nice and happily fed. So come join me again another day.